Guys, how's it going and welcome back? Well, even this was sooner than I expected for a final verdict review. So, here's the deal. I'm doing this as a screen recording because I took it back today. But why? Well, there's nothing wrong with the monitor. It is fabulous, especially on Windows. And on Windows on 4K, oh, gaming is such a new experience. So wild on 4K and with the HDR, of course. However, Windows also increases your view by an extra 50%. So you know how they say, your recommended resolution, and they say your other feature. Anyways, it magnifies things a little bigger by about 50% recommended, right? And this was really nice on Windows. On the Mac side, though, well, there becomes a little bit of an issue. I actually had a couple issues. Number one, even with the proper drivers installed for the Mac, it calls itself what it is for the name, but it says it's a 32-inch screen. It's not. It's a 27, not a 32. So I have no idea what's going on there. And I don't think that had any glitches or problems in that sense. But on the 4K level, the problem I ran into was the text is too bloody small. And what I mean small, I mean it's small. And I owned a 5K Retina Mac that at 5K, I mean, the text was just fine, right? And when you're working with an iMac, you have a choice like any other computer. You can scale the resolution, right? So, but your scaling would be going, in that case, down in size to make a fatter picture, but smaller. You know what I mean? So you could go from 5K down. With the Mac Mini, of course, you're at 4K, and if you want the icons and the text to be bigger, you have to scale it back to 2K. Well, I didn't buy the monitor to run it in 2K on my Mac. I bought it to run 4K on my Mac and my PC. Now, see, the advantage to a monitor like this, you have one monitor, you can hook up to 3 computers and just hit the toggle switch and flick between them, which is definitely ideal, especially when you're dealing with large monitors, right? And a 27 can be large, but, I have limited desk space, and I don't want to have a separate monitor for my Mac and a separate one for my PC. But when the text is so bloody small that I can barely see it, that's a problem. And to scale the resolution back to get everything bigger, you're then not getting what you're paying for, correct? I would assume yes. I'm definitely correct on this. So it's for that reason that it went back. I mean, if all I had was a PC in the house instead of a Mac, and I am a primary Mac user for my Mac stuff like graphics and video editing and, my music especially, I mean, let's face it, Mac ones are not the best for playing games with. But I do still have games that I like to play on the Mac either way. So, but if I had just a PC in the house, I would have kept it because it is a fabulous monitor. And the resolution at 4K with the HDR kicking in, even in games, it is a whole new world, right? And that's amazing. So I still highly recommend this monitor, but to PC people, not for Mac people. Mac people, I would probably suggest you buy an Apple display, or, if you want 4K. If you don't care about 4K and you want 2K, well, by all means, you guys have all seen my LG 31.5-inch screen by now, I'm sure. If not, look up LG 32-inch or 32.5-inch screen on my channel. You'll see the current one I have. And I am still going to be giving this one to my wife for her computer. But I'm going to replace it with a 31.5-inch again because I found one that has 1 millisecond, which I believe this one is too, but it has a much higher refresh rate, and it's got HDR. So it is a bit of an upgrade, and it's the exact same price I paid for this like last year. So it's going to be $400 Canadian, you know. And I figured, well, that's a great way to go, you know, because I'm going to get faster refresh, which will be great for both Mac and PC. I'm still at 2K, which is fine. But the HDR enhances everything that much more too, you know. So it's kind of like I'm going to get an extra little bit of a world. Now, on my Mac Mini, I can actually scale the resolution even on my current 31.5 inch screen. I can scale it to 4K, and in 4K on my 31.5, it's a lot more appealing than this thing is in 27 inch at 4K for, you know, what it is. So anyways, so that's pretty much what I wanted to go through. So if you are a PC user, I would definitely highly recommend this monitor. You will love it. And as far as games go, there will be no ill effects. You can still run your games the same way. Just set them up for 4K for any of your games that go to 4K. Now, here's the other little trick to this. You should have at least, for this screen on a PC, a minimum of a 4 gig graphics card or higher, okay? Because when you go up in resolution, you take away from your card. So if all you've got is a 1 or 2 gig card, no, not suitable. Get at least a 4 gig or higher video card. You'll be able to run this thing just fine. I ran the games through it that I have. I jacked every possible setting right to the hilt, and absolutely no flaws whatsoever. The only problem I ran into was with Cyberpunk 2077. That had nothing to do with the screen, because I've tried this on both, even the 2K and the 4K. My problem is lack of RAM for sure in my computer. I have plenty of processor for that game, but I only have 16 gigs, and the game wants 16 gigs just to itself. And my video card is a 4 gig, but it also uses an additional 8 gigs of my system RAM to give me 12 gigs worth of video power. So I think I'm going to still be okay with the video. We'll find out though, because I ordered in 32 gig upgrade RAM kit for my tower, for my PC last night. So we're going to see how Cyberpunk runs at full out graphics, right to the hilt with 32 gigs in my system, and see how well it does. Because it technically wants an 8 gig video card to itself, that game. So that's kind of like the recommended. It will run on less, and it does, you know, and it runs really well as long as you keep all the other settings at default, you know. But if you want to jack the daylights out of your settings to get the best quality picturing experience ever, then you definitely have to have some serious hardware in your computer to do that. So anyways, as far as this monitor goes though, like I said, I still highly recommend it. I think it's fantastic, but it's only going to be fantastic for the PC users. Apple people, you're going to have to find a different solution. But anyways, that's pretty much it. That's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll be sure to catch you guys in the next one. See ya.